Hi everyone, this is Gail. Welcome to my live stream tonight. Woo! It has been a while since we've been live, and I'm sure you all know some of the things that's been going on. If you've seen my other live streams lately, the past few, then you know that we've been impacted by Hurricane Helene, which has been absolutely insane. So tonight, I'm going to give you an update on some of the things that I've been doing with Hurricane Helene and kind of tell you like some of the ideas of where we can go from here. I've got some videos that I'm still trying to catch up on. So thank you all so much for your patience there. Because if it was not for you all, I don't know where I'd be right now. Just the I'm speechless when it comes to the emails, the messages, and everybody asking if I'm okay and how things are. I've really appreciated that. But we've been so busy. And then we actually got to go away for about 10 days there to go see the grandbaby. And wouldn't have been able to do that without help. And that was just so appreciated. So I got to tell you, it's been crazy. And it's good to be back. And it's good to be back with you all. Hopefully, prayerfully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'll be back with you back on the regular schedule. That's the plan and the hope anyway. And so thank you all for being here and for hanging out with me. So we're going to talk about several things. Let me give a shout out first. Valerie Reese. I don't know if Valerie is watching. Yeah, there's Valerie. Hi, Valerie. I just want to give a shout out to Valerie straight up off the bat here. She and her sisters donated a lot of things. She got socks from Bombas. She got blankets. She got sleeping bags. She got cleaning supplies. Just a lot of things. I also want to apologize to you, Valerie, for not getting your video up yet. But I'm working on it. I am just, like I said, running like way behind. And yeah, I'll get there eventually. So don't give up. And tonight I want to talk about I've got some of the things that I picked up on sale that is just phenomenal. And somebody asked me, I think it was here, I don't think it was on TikTok, but hey, Big Tom Span is in the house. Hi, Big Tom Span. It's getting better. Let me just say that. It's getting one day at a time. You know, every day is a little better than the next. And I will say that when we were out of town, it was tough. It was really weird. But it was a good break, but it was weird. So I still got lots of messages about, are you giving out supplies? Is the church open today? Can we take a shower in the shower trailer? Things like that. Now, most everybody is in a better position as far as water and showers. And we don't have as many people in tents now. And this is Northeast Tennessee. I'm not in Virginia. I'm not in Western North Carolina, so I can't comment. I don't know that situation. But at least here, most people are in tents. What we're seeing, though, is a lot of people donated campers, which has been very helpful up to a point. Not every camper is in good shape. We're also finding out that not everybody knows how to live in a camper. So on this channel, as soon as we get our camper back, if we can get the travel trailer back, then we're going to be doing some educational videos on that to help people out, like specifically right here. So yeah, that's one thing that's coming up. And I had notes on what I was going to talk about, and they were right there. earlier. So I don't know what I've done with them. So if I ramble, I'm sorry. Let me go over here and share real quick. I want to thank Valerie. I do have a little video of some of the things that she got. And you can't see everything because it's all on the table there, but there's a few things. There's a couple of things there. You see flood buckets back there in the back corner, the socks from Bombas. Now, the flood buckets Valerie didn't bring, but she brought everything else. And everything that you see there, that's on the table. And we gave it all out really, really fast. One of the things that she brought was a little frozen blanket, and this little girl came in, and she had been kind of sad, kind of down, but she saw that frozen blanket, and, like she just stops and her eyes go straight to that frozen blanket. So I asked her if she would like it, and she kind of cautiously said yes. So when I handed it to her, she just kind of grabbed it and went skipping out of the fellowship hall with the blanket. It was like so cute. Bleach, of course, has been a really big deal here. We're still, supplies are flowing, but everybody's in a monetary crunch. So people are still asking for some cleaning supplies. We are getting some of that. But overall, we've been really, really fortunate. So I'll put that. Stop sharing. Quit. So, yeah. Hey, Zion. Welcome. Welcome, Zion. Yeah, we're actually gonna talk about that a little bit. So, we've got several things. Several groups are concentrating on several things now, and we've got a big meeting on Tuesday to kind of hash this out a little bit more. They've actually put one church kind of in charge of constructing the rebuilding process here in our county, Johnson County here in Northeast Tennessee. And I don't know how they're going to do this, how they're going to organize it, because just to give you an idea, our tax assessor's office released numbers, and they're about 3 weeks old. But just to give you an idea on how things are, they looked at like 160 houses and evaluated them and found out that all were affected. Some of them had major damage or weren't there anymore. Some of them had moderate damage, but all houses that they looked at were affected, except for two, which are presumed to be affected because they couldn't get to the houses. So that's actually it's been a couple of weeks, but that's the latest numbers that we have. Now the situation is better. A lot of people have been able to get into their homes, and if they're not in their homes, most everybody is either with somebody else, left town, or they're in a donated camper. I only know of two people. We've been working really hard with multiple organizations, and I only know of two people that are still in tents right now officially. And both of those kind of predated Helene. So what we have is a county that already was chronically poor. We're one of the poorest counties in Tennessee. And so we don't have a lot. So when you pull away what we did have, it's really kind of a challenge. But I will tell you, to give you an idea of where we are in this county, 160 homes were looked at. Total damage on those homes is $6 million. Now, if you do the math, you can see that the homes aren't very expensive, especially like compared to the rest of the U.S. So, yeah. So we already had that. So it's kind of been difficult for people to like recover financially because it's going to be a long time. Okay. US 421 is still out. Part of it just washed away. And so, like, the closest grocery stores, closest Walmart, Lowe's, etc., are from here are either in Abingdon, Virginia or Boone, North Carolina. Each one is about 45 minutes away, except you can't get to Boone right now through normal routes because the highway is still washed out. Estimated time frame on fixing US Highway 421 is April. And you think, oh my gosh, it's going to be down that long. But literally in places, there was no dirt left for them to put the power poles that had come down. So when you consider that and look at some of the other challenges where, like, the dirt washed away out from underneath the road, there are steep drop-offs, the road itself just totally gone, washed away. It's actually going to be a pretty big achievement for them to accomplish that. Hey, Lynn is in the house. Hi, Grandma Lynn. How are you? Welcome. It's always good to see you. So it's kind of crazy. So some of the things that we were talking about that we need are, it's relatively small things on up to relatively large things. We've got a couple of people who are actually having to redo the inside of their camper because the camper that they were given has weak spots in the floor. So that's obviously something that has to be fixed before they can move forward. And I got word today that it looks like they've got somebody to volunteer their time to help. And I think we've got materials. So I think they're going to be okay. But it's just another thing for somebody to have to deal with, So, and then I got a message today for somebody looking for a 50 amp plug. They want to put an adapter on their camper to go from 50 amp to household current so they can plug it into a house and run everything off of the house electricity. So then when you talk to them and find out what it is, sometimes they want to run their whole brand new camper off of like a friend's electricity, and they can't necessarily run everything. So some education is needed. But as far as like stuff, our church is looking at toys and contributing toys. And I think what we're going to do, and this is tentative pending Tuesday, is I think our church is just going to collect some toys. Now, some people have already been adopted, okay? So this doesn't apply to them. So if you were listening and you were local and you have been adopted from our group, don't panic. It's okay. But what I think we're going to do is do some general toy collecting. And then, like, the week before Christmas, just tell people if you need a toy, you can come and get a toy. Because it'll be at least something. Because you've got the houses that are severely damaged. And they've got a list from the property assessor's office. Some organizations are going strictly by that list. And in order to qualify, you have to be on that list. Some organizations are using poverty level or 100% above poverty level. But the people that I'm talking to are all supporting and helping other people. So I'm really concerned that there's going to be a lot of people who don't necessarily fit those parameters, but won't be able to do Christmas for their kids. So we're talking about, starting a toy drive to collect toys, just to put out, about a week before Christmas and say, here you go. If you need a toy, take a toy, that kind of thing. Another thing that we're talking about is turkeys for Christmas. And the best thing there is we have Food Lion grocery store is our more well-known grocery store name. There is a Walmart about 45 minutes away. So a Walmart gift card or a Food Lion gift card for like $10 or whatever to go toward the cost of a turkey would be really helpful, because traditionally there's an organization in the town that have done Thanksgiving meals, but there really hasn't been anything as far as turkeys for Christmas. So we're looking at that. We're still needing some warmer gear, and I'm going to show you just in a minute the deal that I found when we were out on our trip. You guys, it's going to knock your socks off. Who knew that Pilot slash Flying J was going to have a fabulous sale on warm gear? I got to tell you that in just a second. Let's see. Valerie's saying, could you use some bath soap and cotton knitted soap sacks? I'm going to say tentatively no on that, because we just received a bunch of health kits from UMCOR. So those health kits they have soap, a washcloth, a hand towel, nail clippers, Band-Aids, toothbrush. So it's got a lot of things like that. And we just received, I think it's like 300 of them. So I think we're okay on, oh my stars. Oh my God. Big Tom Stan, I don't know what to say. Oh my God. Thank you so much. So much. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I okay, y'all. I am like flabbergasted here. Thank you, Tom. Wow. Okay. I don't know what to say. Thank you. We can definitely, I'll be putting that to really good use. And you can let me know if there's something specific that you want it to go for. Get the kids Christmas. That's what we will do. That's what we will do. Exactly that. So, wow, thank you. And so here we go. We've got that for Christmas. That is awesome. That is awesome. And I have to tell you that like every little bit really helps. Um, I've been blown away. I've been blown away. And Christmas is a time that's supposed to be happy, and people are there's such a cloud over some people that you just want to give them a huge hug. And then there are people who have lost everything, and they are looking forward to Christmas, and they may not have a thing. Okay, like all of their Christmas stuff may have been washed away in the flood. Look, I know this one couple, and they lost most of everything and cannot wait to celebrate Christmas. So it's people like that just just keep you going. Um, and I have to say that the way our community here has come together has been unlike anything I have ever seen before. Now, I've been in other disaster areas, okay? Things happen. We had Hurricane Isabel, we had a massive ice storm, some forest fire stuff. But the way this community has come together has been unbelievable. And so we all have certain things that we're good at, both individually and as organizations. And seeing this play out, like we have one organization called the Hometown Service Coalition. And what happened was we started getting hit with massive amounts of used clothing. Massive amounts of used clothing. And so a lot of agencies took it to the Hometown Service Coalition. And that was a combined effort. And so they've had volunteers working to try to process everything. And some people have gotten really upset about us not taking any more used clothing. But there's a ton of reasons for that. And part of it is that one person's idea of what's good and usable may not be another person's idea of what's good and usable. We have had some things donated that people said were good enough for people who lost everything, but you're asking somebody who lost everything to fix zippers or fix rips in clothing. And when you've lost everything, where do you get needles from? I mean, how do you have the time to like sort through your house and fix a pair of jeans? So we're having to sort everything, and it's extremely labor intensive. So Hometown Service Coalition networked with another group called Goodwill, of all places. And they came and got a bunch of the clothing, took it back, sorted it, cleaned it, put it in by size and hangers and so forth. And they're sending it back. And that is going to be free for people who've been affected to go and get what they need. So it's been kind of slow, but they've been able to go and get it. So that's really a huge deal. So that's one example how the organizations here have all fit together, really worked together. Another woman on the state line of Tennessee and North Carolina, I did a shorts on this, or maybe I did a TikTok. I'll look and make sure it's on shorts. She's like, I have this building. People need stuff. So it was a skating place, and they built ramp. When I say skating, I'm talking about skateboarding, and they built ramps and stuff, and people would go and do their skateboard activities. And she's like, I have this big building. So she turned it into basically a distribution hub, because she's like, I've got space. If you've got something you want to donate, you can bring it to me and I'll do it. And she's on the other side of the road that's out. So we have two really good distribution points, one on each portion of, like, if you say two halves of the county. And so people have been supporting by organizations, by groups, by church groups, and also taking care of our own. Now, I'm not saying that outside groups aren't here. We have some. World Kitchen has been huge to help. They've helped do meals. First Christian Church has been huge, and they have networked with other organizations to provide meals. At one point, I may have said on another live stream, 1,000 people a day 1,000 people per meal were being fed in this county, which is really huge for us. Unbelievable kind of stuff going on. And we've just all been networking and putting it together. And so we're having this big meeting Tuesday, which will help put things even more in place. But we're also hearing about some really bad tragedies that have happened, kind of as not directly related to the hurricane, but how you can see the hurricane stress playing into people's individual lives. And so, we know that domestic violence spikes after a difficult situation like this. Anytime you've had a natural disaster, it goes up. And so we're seeing some of that. We've had people attempt to unalive themselves, and completed, even with an 8th grader. So we're seeing some of that now too. It's just really difficult for everybody to have a good attitude. So the people that do, when you see what they've lost, it's just like, that's what keeps you going. It really does. Our church, our little church, has had 3 mission teams come in. They've done vast amount of works, and mission teams are still trying to schedule and get in, except now the weather's cold. So mission teams, people don't want to come out and take their vacation time to come someplace where it's cold, and it was spitting snow earlier today. So there's kind of a lag, but people still have trees down and are looking for support. So I just heard today that there's a group coming in to another church. Although it's all slowed down, we still have a group that's coming in that's going to help take care of some more trees. So it's just really challenging here right now. Not as challenging as it is in Western North Carolina. Don't hear me say we're Western North Carolina bad, because we're not quite that bad. They're on their own level. So let me show you some happy news. Okay, and behind me, I brought these jars in. Those are cookies. That's biscotti. And I actually have, I think, 10 jars of biscotti now and some other containers of cookies because it's Christmas and we're going to be giving out cookies. And Valerie is going to get to come and help with it. So, yay. Thank you, Valerie. And we're going to be giving out to linemen, emergency workers, and people who have really helped. Hopefully, we'll be able to track down some of the Samaritan's Purse folks. I understand they're still here and cannot say enough good about them. Cannot. Salvation Army has been helpful too. So, in fact, I've got something to show you all. Somebody asked me about meals provided by the Salvation Army. So I borrowed this box. And don't worry, this is going back, so don't worry. Oh gosh, I thought I texted you. Wait a minute. Okay, I did text you. Okay. I texted you on the 23rd, but I'll text it again right after this. Okay. No, actually, I'll go ahead and text it to you now again to make sure it goes through. So, y'all just bear with me a second while I text Valerie. So there we go. I don't know what happened to that text. So I'm sorry. Peter, did you not want, oh, hey, Peter, sorry. Getting distracted here. Did you not want to be blue? I can take it off if you don't want to be blue. So you got your wrench. Valerie got back in from PA about an hour ago. Wow. Okay. That's why. It could be with me not getting good signal sometimes and you traveling. I don't know. But anyway, we got it now. So, okay. So I thought I would open this Salvation Army lunchbox and show you all what's in it because the Salvation Army was really nice to provide meals to. A lot of people couldn't have eaten had it not been for meals like this. And I'm not ashamed, given the circumstances, to say that we were also the recipient of some free meals until we kind of got back on our feet. We were doing breakfast at the Red Cross, our church was. So we had breakfast there. But a couple of times we had a dinner brought to us, which was really very helpful. And this one day, we were taking stuff to the distribution center on the state line, and we got lunch given to us by World Kitchen. We would not have eaten it all that day had it not been for them because we were running absolutely in circles. And what had happened, that was just one of those crazy situations. It had been taking us about an hour and a half to get to where that distribution center was. Well, what's happening is Some tractor trailer drivers are not paying attention to the big signs that say no trucks, and they're going right past them. And this is an alternative route, and there is a very tight, narrow curve that trucks just cannot do. If you have a large trailer, like a large lawn trailer, and a big like F-150 pulling it, you may have trouble there. This is just a known spot. And so sure enough, we passed a tractor trailer going in as we were going into the state lines. And we were just like, oh no, 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 no. So we got there, and World Kitchen gave us a lunch, and it took us over 4 hours to get back home because the truck had tied up the primary alternate route, and we had to take a secondary alternate route. And this was not a good situation. Thankfully, things are better. Like Valerie, you probably won't have any trouble getting here. Not like I had getting to you. So, yeah. But we do still have trees falling. I will just kind of warn you on that. So anyway, had it not been for World Kitchen that day, we would not have eaten like at all, because we had to go back to the church. After we emptied our trailer at State Line, we had to go back to the church, fill up our trailer with some things to take it to another church who didn't have supplies at all, and they were trying to give some stuff out. So, by the time we got that day all done, it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock by the time we got home. So, yeah. Can't say enough good about World Kitchen either. So anyway, and Salvation Army was great. So I borrowed this from our church food pantry. Don't worry, it's going back in. But just so you can see what they brought us, it was really a pretty nice kit, I've got to say. Okay, so this is their lunch kit, all right? And these had pea pop sea salt. So I don't know what this is like. Maybe somebody can fill me in. It also had shelf-stable hummus. This box has 2 shelf-stable hummus. 2 good packs of crackers. These are 2-pack cream crackers. So they don't look like they're stuffed. So I'm not sure what cream means. But they have 2 of those. They included the utensils, the fork set, a pack of raisins, 2 cookies, and the fork set has an 2 antibacterial wipes, and tuna salad. So that's, to me, it's a pretty nice lunch kit. And some of this says kosher approved. So, or that it's not approved, that it is kosher. Okay. So they even took, some cultural sensitivities in mind, kept those in mind there. So I think that's a pretty good lunch kit. I mean, nothing's going to be like you make it at home, okay? So no insults to other grandmas out there. But if you don't have anything and you need something, this is a welcome sight, just saying. And the military brought in some MREs, which are also helpful. This is going back in the pantry, so I'm not even going to attempt to put this back in the box the way it fits. I'll never make it. So, big thank you to Salvation Army for doing that. Now, some of you all have donated money by PayPal and here and there. I found a phenomenal deal at Pilot. We're struggling with temperatures. Okay, um, let me just pull it up here because I don't remember now what our thermometer says. Okay, today was a high of 32 and a low of 27. Tomorrow is a high of 33 with a low of 23. Monday is a high of 30 and a low of 17. Then we're going to go to 29 and 16. So we're looking at some cold weather. So I was able to find at Pilot, all places, some hoodies and some vests, puffer vests, for the whopping price of $5 each. $5. Oh, Grandma Lynn says it's the 30s there. So, wow. And Peter, yay. I'm glad you want the blue. You got it. So there you go. So I'm going to show you. I'm so excited. So excited. $14.99 off, people. They were $20 originally. So there you go. Can't even. There. Let me move the chair. Ouch. Okay. So hoodies. I was so excited. And these are new, of course. So I thought, some people may even want to give a hoodie for Christmas. I just have never heard of the Haslam's Pilot Oil Flying J having a sale like this. It's incredible. So we've got those, and I got 2 of the puffer vests right there. So that'll help keep somebody warm. Oops, I'm just going to leave that. Ouch. So that'll help keep somebody warm. And then after I got these, I went back with Stellar Piper, and she and I were able to get some more things. So we wound up total of 6 puffer vests and 2 of the long sleeve sweatshirts. So sweatshirt hoodies. So super stoked. Okay, Big Tom's Van says it's 40s in Chattanooga and 29 degrees there in Virginia. So yeah, so y'all can identify with it being like really, really cold right now. And so that's something that, we're having to like work around. So what we're doing is we're finding out, I said earlier that we're finding out that some people like don't know how to live in campers. And one of the things that I meant by that is the people who are in a camper who are used to being in a house don't understand that campers can be chilly and drafty. So it's, even things like throw rugs can make a difference. So we're having to talk to them and do some education. And Big Tom's Van, if you have some videos that you've done that you think might help, if you have a playlist on that, can you send me the link so I can share it out, especially here locally? We're going to be doing some when we get the travel trailer back. If we get the travel trailer back, we're hoping. Travel trailer was damaged during the storm, and the antenna we thought was the only damage we had at first. The antenna got knocked by a branch hard enough to kind of break that. So we're hoping it didn't damage the roof. But the really big problem above that is we had a power surge. And our travel trailer had 2 what they call house batteries that would run the refrigerator and nothing else. It's not designed to run a lot. There are some interior lights and the refrigerator that it would run when it's not hooked up to something. So when when we were out of electricity, we lost it for about, I think it was 12 days or so, 10, 12 days. We were out of water for 14. And we got electricity on a day or two before that. So, anyhow, we thought we were home free. We have electricity, so let's plug this thing in. We'd also used it on generators some. We have a propane generator. And somewhere along the way, possibly when we hooked it up to the generator and maybe the generator ran out of gas, or when we had it hooked up to the house and the power was flashing, somewhere along the way we had a power surge that took out the batteries and part of the electrical system and the refrigerator. So we're hoping that the value of the trailer is higher than the value of the damage enough that they don't total it. So we're kind of waiting on that. My husband doesn't think it's going to be a problem, but I worry. That's what I do. So hopefully that'll be okay. So when we get it back, we're going to make some videos, which I think will be really helpful, And I will let y'all know more about what's going on and what we need as soon as we hear after this meeting on Tuesday. Another thing that we can use, and if anybody knows of a source for this, we can use empty buckets with lids. Clean empty buckets with lids. Let me specify that. So if y'all know of a cheap source, that would be great, because what they're finding out, people have donated. Well, let me back up. The United Methodist Church, UMCOR, has what they call cleaning buckets. And those are designed to be used after floods. And they've got some cleaning supplies, some work gloves, some bleach, some stuff. I forget what all. So what they're kind of trying to do, we've given out over 500 of those. And so what they're kind of trying to do, the Hometown Service Coalition, is find a real quick and easy way to hand those out. And so buckets are a big deal. I've got a picture of, just a stack of filled flood buckets at church, and they're just kind of trying to emulate that to make it easy to hand out, because buckets, they can actually be used for quite a few things. You don't think about it. But buckets can be used to carry water. They can be used to wash clothes. They can be used to mix up cleaning supplies. They can be used as a stool if you need something to sit on. And if you have some kitty litter in a plastic bag, it can be used for something else too. And so that's just some of the ways that the buckets are being used. And here we are bringing some in at church to stack them up. Those are actually the filled buckets. So what they're kind of trying to do is basically emulate that with kind of stock on hand kind of thing. So if anybody knows of a cheap source for clean buckets with lids, send me an email because we can really use that right now. I'm going to type my email address in. If I can hit all the keys right, I'm going to type it in. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right. So that's sent. Okay. So the meeting Tuesday, I've mentioned that. I'm really excited about it because it's going to be a lot of agencies getting together and just really analyzing our needs and kind of figuring out what we're all good at. Because some of us are good at hosting teams, some of us are good at bringing teams in, and just kind of go from there. Another need that they're trying to fill right here in the community is for warming shelters, so people can just go in and get warm, out of the cold. So that's kind of where we are. Did I see some? Oh, Living Positively. Hey, welcome. I didn't see you come in. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Oh, and I see now too, Grandma donated $2. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it because every little bit helps. And I'm thinking about doing a fundraising live stream in the next week or so to go toward kids, but I'm going to have to do it by PayPal um, because that'll be the most helpful. I think it's the fastest. Actually, it's the fastest. So yeah, it's that's what I'm thinking about to help with the kids, to help buy turkeys. I'm leaning towards that. So y'all tell me what you think about that. Valerie, I'm not trying to take over the Black Friday fundraiser. This is going to be like a one-time deal here. And some people have sent me gift cards that have been, it's been great having the gift cards because I was able to get a few things here and there with the gift cards. So, and those are all spent on stuff. So as you guys have sent gift cards, what I did was, and if I missed anybody, then holler at me. What I did was I sent the receipt from the items that I had bought with the gift card back to the person who donated. So everybody knows exactly, what's being given. So yeah. And as far as numbers go, I will tell you that our little church, in the first month, we gave out supplies. We served 849 people. If we didn't miss anybody, let's just say 850 for easy math, okay? Directly in the church at our distributions of supplies. But we also served an estimated another 150 some odd through our blessing box where we just put food out 24/7. It's open 24/7. We actually stock it a few times during the day, and we've got a lot of demand on that lately. And once in a while, you'll have somebody that comes through and cleans it out, and once in a while, you'll have somebody that comes through and stocks it back up out of just general community. So big help there. So we're estimating about 150 people served from that. So we're right at 1,000 to a little bit overserved in the first month, which for our church is huge. And we could not have done that without you all. So big round of applause to you all. Oh, hey, Living Positively, thank you for your help. Yes, it will help. Do not worry. It will help. So thank you. Because everything helps. Everything helps. It's not too small. It's not too big. I mean, Big Tom's van, your heart is huge. Thank you so much. How do you all do that? Like something like that? Your heart. I don't know if my hands will bend that way, but thank you. It's not working. There we go. Y'all know what I'm trying to do. So thank you. It has been crazy. And then you have these moments like Valerie here, when our Red Cross shelter was open, it was only open 14 days. And I'm not going on that rant. Y'all have seen the video. But when it was open, Valerie had donated the supplies and the socks and things that I just showed you in the video. I had it in my little, reusable tote bag, and I go in to the shelter. I've got 25 youth socks and 25 adult socks. And while I walk up to start talking to the shelter representative, this kid comes up. I'm going to say he's a teenager, probably. And he's like, hey, can I have a clean pair of socks? Do you have any? I'm going to go work on my house, and I don't have any clean socks. And it was just like, I got you covered. Because of Valerie, I have socks. And he was a very happy camper and went and took care of his house in clean socks. So, I mean, like that moment wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Valerie, if it wasn't for Bombas, if it wasn't for somebody who decided they needed socks and looked up Bombas and bought from socks. So it's like nothing is little, it's all because I'm sure Bombas's thing is they give a pair for a pair that they sell. So I'm sure that whoever bought the socks had no idea that the extra pair was going to go to some kid in Northeast Tennessee to help with hurricane recovery. But yet, that's what happens. So, I mean, literally, there is nothing that's small in this world. It's not. He does. He does. Valerie's saying God is good and he provides for our needs. He does. Um, and, and we don't know how that's going to happen, but yeah. It was interesting too, because like Samaritan's Purse is in Western North Carolina, and that is their home office. Well, I was talking to somebody early on with the hurricane recovery stuff, and they said that they didn't anticipate Samaritan's Purse was ever going to be here because their hands were so full in Western North Carolina. The person was telling me, he's like, because they got hit hard. And I'm like, yes, they did get hit hard. But Samaritan's Purse is here on the ground. And he was like, that can't be right. And I was like, yeah, they're here. They're helping. Johnson County, Tennessee is the only county where Samaritan's Purse is helping. But they were already here and already on the ground. And that just blew the guy away. He had no idea. And Samaritan's Purse is still here. And I don't intend for this to be a commercial for Samaritan's Purse, only that, boundaries are stretching. It's wow. And we even had, like, somebody gave a bag of Halloween candy, and this was before Halloween, and that bag of Halloween candy, people just liked having it. And so it didn't hang around long. We all like that Halloween candy, and hopefully they'll like these cookies, wherever they are, right over there, because we're working on those. So it all goes in together. So, yeah. So I do want to ask you all to keep us in your prayers, though, because what we're seeing happening is donations and emphasis are tapering off, not just here, but it's tapering off in Western North Carolina, too. And we still have, they're estimating that for the average person, recovery is going to be 5 years. Now, we're going to have some people who fall on either end of the extreme where they already have their lives back together, and people who won't have their recovery done until a long time after the 5 years. But we're talking it's going to be almost 2030 before this area recovers. So it's going to be a long haul. So keep us in your prayers. If you have a group that is looking for a project, come and talk to me, especially for this spring. Now is great, but this spring, come talk to me, because we're trying to put together some mission teams. One that I'm trying to put together myself is to go paint in people's houses. And I already have a list of people, and I'm just looking for a 3 to 5 day commitment to just come and paint some houses. We're talking about interior rooms here. Nobody's going to be up on a ladder outside. So that's one of the things. We've got, we're still probably going to have trees that have to be fixed. We've got people whose driveways are missing, and for some unknown reason, I don't think our state picked up on that. And so when they put guardrails up on one portion of this creek bed where the guardrails had washed out, they put them up right in front of somebody's house. And there's a couple of instances where that bridge is missing for the person's driveway going over to their house. And now there's a guardrail in front of it. So once they get the guardrail issue worked out, they're going to need some help with their driveway. So there's going to be some things like that that's coming up. Big Tom's van is right. Replacing homes is the hard one. Absolutely. And there's some of that. Um, there's also, there's just so much. It's like, where do you even start? It's like peeling an onion. You know, the first thing is, like, you've got somebody that was lost their home and they were in a tent and now they're in a camper. Well, now you find out that the camper has to be fixed, and that's taking time away from what they could be doing toward their home to get the camper fixed. And then as soon as we get the camper where they can walk in it and get that fixed, then they can really start on their home. So it's like, you want to go work on the home, but with the weather and other things come up, you have to get to A, B, C, and D before you can get to fixing the home. So there's that. But I mean, things are better. Things are better, but they're still, like I said, it's just going to be a long time. Um, so, and we have good news too. Like, I don't know if you guys heard about a fire department in Northeast Tennessee who lost their firehouse. Literally, it washed away, and it took the tanker trucks with it. And so I think they said it washed the truck like 2 miles downstream, and they got it back. They got it out. Now it's totaled. Absolutely no question about it. It's annihilated, but they got it back. I'm not sure where the tanker portion of it is, but they got the truck back. And just knowing that they got it out of the creek, which turned into a raging river, just knowing that they got that is a huge step forward. So, like I said, we have to take those blessings where it comes. And let me see. I got a message here. Okay. Oh, okay. It's somebody asking about the meeting that I was just talking about. So yeah. So so that's kind of where we are. And let's see. Yeah, Living Positively is saying Incredible Tiny Homes is selling 8x16 tiny homes with sinks, all electric, bathroom, and more for $18K until Monday. I did not know that. Let me, while I'm thinking about it, while it's on my brain, let me type this in. So I don't know if somebody at this point can get a loan, but I am going to send this. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page, because what we're finding out is, like, Appalachian Service Project, they're coming in and they are building some homes, but they are $50,000, which is a lot of money. So organizations are committing to fundraising to raise that to help get people in homes. And I guess they have to do that to cover their expenses. So, okay. So there we go. All right. So I've shared it with somebody, and hopefully they'll keep sharing it and it'll get to another person. So, okay. Because that's going to be a huge help. There's also Cabins for Jesus or something like that is kind of sprung up out of this whole situation with Hurricane Helene. And they are trying to provide small homes over in Western North Carolina. And I think that they are branching out here. That's what I've heard. It is not confirmed. So, we'll see. Because you can't always put stock, as y'all know, in rumors. So hopefully. So, it's one day at a time, one thing at a time. And it's just kind of like peeling back the layers of the onions. And people who need clothes now, they're needing winter clothes. So come spring, they're going to need spring clothes. So it's like, how do you plan for that? And try to put the cart before the horse, so you can already start toward filling needs before they really start arising again. Like we knew going into winter, we needed gas. So we were able to get some propane tanks donated, mostly the little green ones, but it'll help on really cold nights. If you have what they call a Mr. Heater or a Mr. Buddy heater, it'll still help on really cold nights, and to knock the chill off. So it's something. So yeah. So all right. Well, thank you all so much for your support in so many ways. Big Tom's fan. God bless you. I still don't know what to say about that. Lynn, Laurie, you all, Valerie, thank you all so much. And I hope you are blessed too, because y'all are doing amazing stuff. So thank you. So I'm going to let you go. Yeah, hubby just got home. I need to find out if he's hungry and figure out what my dog's into. Oh, real quick, super fast news about my dog. Um, we are He is going to be transitioning to his new life in March. I'll be getting another service dog. He's having some problems, as you all know, with like his hip and his back. And it may be a decade before or at least late in life, before he has to have anything done about it. But he has to come off of doing mobility work. So he's still going to be a service dog, because he still alerts for blood sugar. He alerts for seizures. He retrieves. He just can't do balancing, bracing, and anything mobility. So in mid-March, if all goes well, I'll be graduating with my next service dog, and he will be transitioning into therapy dog, because he's got such the personality for it. He's just a sweetheart. So anyway, that's the latest news on the service dog, but I need to go check and see what he's into. Big Tom's fan, I tell you, I couldn't do anything without you all. This is such a huge team effort, and I thank you for that. So you all take care. I'll be back Saturday with the regular 7:30 live stream, unless something weird happens. I will probably never ever say, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I will probably never say that again. But if nothing weird happens, I will be on here at 7:30 Saturday. So thank you all so much. You all take care and just be blessed, y'all. Take care. Good night. Good night.